Hi. Hello. I actually didn't do any feelers out, like putting anything on social medias today. Um, because to be honest, I don't have a lot of energy, mental energy right now. Yeah, I had, once again, the trigger warning is in the title about some of the things that I'm going, or some of the things that have been going on in my life. I did have a major attack while driving in from the suburbs back to my house, and it was kind of scary because, I was literally driving on a highway, but like feeling like I was choking and can't breathe. Like it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. So energy wise, I'm like at a zero. Which isn't funny. Like that's not funny, but like it is. It is the truth. It's the truth right now that I'm like at a zero. I'm I'm gone. I'm out of it. I'm checked out a little bit. So I don't know how long I'll be live today. I think I just want to watch at least one, because this is what I had planned for myself today. At least one Rotten Mango. We're gonna try. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get there. I don't know which one. I haven't looked yet. Rotten Mango. Oh, my stuff is still on caps. Get out of here. Videos. Okay. Oh, there's a video from 3 days ago, and it's an hour and 8. Most Hated Man is free. Bloodbath, let's see. Sorry, now I'm just looking through the page, and you are not transitioned and can't see anything I'm looking at. Hold on 2 seconds. I did, what is it? I did teach today. So that was the highlight of my day today. I taught. It says, I'm here. Computer wasn't working. Yeah, I put a, what is it? I had a stream. Oh, that reminds me. I need to go edit that. Hold on. Before we do anything else. What do you guys see right now? Okay, you can see that. Okay, hold on. I'm going to transition real quick. I, went live and immediately my stream started crashing. It started effing. So I had to stop stream and start over again. So let me real quick go delete that from before live. This one. Hold on. This will take like 2 seconds. We're good. I am here. This one. Nope, that's I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so I literally tried to go live earlier, and like it just started effing everywhere. It was not good. It was not good. But yeah. Yeah, but I got to teach today. That was fun. My students said that they like what they're learning right now, which always is good feedback to hear from the people that you are teaching, like literally teaching. But y'all, let's just get into it. Once again, I'm now gonna exit from this page. You can go away, and you can go away. But you'll stay up, and I'm gonna transition again because I know what I'm doing. Haha. Transition. We made it again. Okay, let's look. There's a brand new video that just came out, which is the killer who vlogged his murder planned for 8 years. The killer who vlogged his murder plan for 8, like, so someone made like detailed videos on their plans to murder Like anyone? Like, were they just taking anyone? Let's see. The worst betrayal. 7 husbands drugged and assaulted each other's Ew! 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 What? What is a boy chat room? What? Sorry, I'm so confused. Wait, sorry, which one's good? Te, is it the newest one? So the 2 weeks, the murder vlog, or this one, the one with the literal horrible things. This one. Oh, you're probably talking about something else. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. Sorry. Yeah, I haven't watched this one, so I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen this one either because I'm just shocked, and I don't know if my brain can process that right now. So maybe not that one. Big Pharma billionaire bodies found hanging by the pool during a house showing. That's traumatic. Walking in, thinking this could be provincial house, and like seeing his bodies, just literal bodies. Then she tracked down her brother's killer through Facebook. That one sounds crazy too. Flying panda. Sorry. Buh. Korea's death mall. 502 dead and 40 missing inside high-end department store. That sounds insane too. Okay, for me, it's between this very new one. I don't think this one I can handle today, so maybe not that one. This one or the... Where is it? The mall. This one. How long is this one? That's an hour 13. This one's an hour and 8. I wonder if there's one I'm interested in that's a little bit longer. Let me look. Okay, let me look at these run times. Because, like, once again, I know you got here. I don't actually know if you got here right in the beginning of my stream, but I'm a little bit out of it today. I did have a major attack today while driving, and it was a little scary. So like my energy level's at a 0 right now. So if I'm gonna do one, I wanted to make it a longer one, so it's, you know. At least I did something today. Da, 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 da. Sorry, all I saw was school ate the students, and I'm like, excuse me? Cannibalism? Like, what is happening? Oh, famous OnlyFans model who became a killer. Case of Courtney Clooney. I don't know this one, actually. And this is very close to proximity of like my. Yeah, I'm good. I'm better now. I calmed myself down, but it like did. It was just mostly scary that I'm having this attack, but also driving a car on a highway. That was mostly like the whole thing, and why I don't have any energy right now is because of the fact that I was driving a giant ass car when it was happening, and that was just the scary part. I think it's a little scary for that reason. But I'm feel okay now. I feel a lot more calm. I don't feel like another attack is gonna happen. So yeah, at least that's good. And I don't. This is technically the start of my weekend. I don't have to do anything again until Tuesday. So I have 2 full days to recover and calm myself down. And I don't have to necessarily drive anywhere. I don't have to get behind the wheel of a car. But anyways, anti-hero, cold-blooded killer. I don't know what we can do. Okay, I'm making it harder than it has to be. Okay. Now that one. I kind of want to do this mall one. I kind of want to know why. That's good at least. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Take the time to recover when you need the recovery time. I think I made a decision. I think I'm doing this one. Let's pause this. Let's get here. I want to make sure that you can still see. I think you should still be able to see everything. I think that should be good. Okay. Here we go. So, once again, this is Rob Makers. We're doing Korea's Death Mall. 502 dead and 40 missing inside high-end department store. That sounds one crazy in Korea too. Like, I wonder what was going on in this one. Obviously, probably a lot of negligence. Probably a lot of negligence. Let's be real. If a whole mall collapsed. It says high-end department store. Yeah, no, this is just all straight up negligence. Let's.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Mina was shuffling through the children's clothing racks, and she feels this little tug on her skirt. And she's asking her son, "Okay, yeah, what is it, sweetie? Do you need something?" There's no response. So Mina pulls her eyes away from the clothes, and she looks at her son. He's like 6 years old at this point, and his eyes are bulging out of his head. He looks petrified. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And this little kid, he's Korean, he says, "Oma, we've got to go home right now." "Why? What's wrong? Do you have to go potty? Like, I'll be done in 10 minutes. Can you hold it?" "No, the ajashi said that we need to leave right now." Mina looks around. There's definitely nobody near them, and there's definitely not a middle-aged man. All of the employees at this children's clothing store, they're young women. So she's confused. "What ajashi are you talking about? Like, I just..."
Is the little boy seeing ghosts?
And Ajashi is a old man.
Old middle-aged man.
Yeah.
And he looks up at her again and says, "That ajashi right there told me to leave." And he's pointing into the air. Mina looks, and there is nobody. She says, "Are you sure you saw an ajashi? What did he look like?" He keeps saying he was bleeding. He keeps trying to hug the nice cashier lady. Mina didn't leave because she's in this very fancy luxury shopping mall, and maybe
It's like
make up some things. Maybe
sorry, real quick, just side story. So not particularly recent, yeah. The color of this building just reminds me of my grandma's house. This was the color of my grandma's house. So whenever I see this like specific shade of pink, I just think of like my grandma's kitchen. That's all I see in my head is my grandma's kitchen. Sorry, it has nothing to do with the story, just association of color. Okay, cool, love that. But also this boy is seeing ghosts in the mall.
Maybe he wanted to go home and watch TV. It just didn't make any sense why there would be a bleeding man in the middle of this store. I mean, this mall is known for, you walk in, very normal to see coats going for $1,000 a coat. Table
Buying a
tent
coat for
going
$1,000 is
$8,000,
insane.
$9,000. People dressed up to go shopping at this establishment. There certainly weren't any middle-aged bleeding ajashis trying to hug cashiers. It's just not that type of place. But these were the rumors that would float around Korea even to this day. Children dragging their parents out of this mall, talking about how they saw a bloody man telling them to get out.
What?
Bloody people climbing onto
Why are
workers'
there ghosts?
trying to almost get on their back like a piggyback.
Yeah.
There were rumors
95.
that children were being warned to stay away from this mall. Because very soon, over 502 people would be dead,
Oh no.
and 30 people would go missing inside of these very walls.
Oh no. Like they never got, like they still haven't found them? Okay, but I forgot if they've said a year yet, but if they are still missing in the mall, like literally still missing in the rubbish, like to this
As
day?
always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. This is another Korean case. We had multiple Korean researchers assist in gathering of the facts on this one. But as always, please let us know if there's anything that we didn't cover or something that got lost in translation. I mean, it's a huge case, so I'm sure it's bound that we're going to have things that we didn't touch up on, but just let us know in the comments. So with that being said, let's get into it. June 29th in South Korea is almost peak summertime. I mean, almost every single
June
person
29th
that
of this
walks
year?
into the Sampoong mall
Of whatever year this came out?
왜 이렇게 더워? Which
Hold
is
on.
why
When did this come out? 3 months ago. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they've said a year yet.
Like, why is it so hot? A lot of people were coming to the mall to avoid the heat outside. And usually these massive indoor malls, they blast the AC during the summer. You walk in, you feel that ice cold air smack you on the way in.
Yeah.
Not today. The
Oh.
mall was more humid, more hot, clammy. It was so hot, it was difficult to breathe inside of the mall.
Oh.
It's like the AC was broken.
Yeah.
The workers are profusely sweating, apologizing to the customers. Sorry, the AC's broken. I'm sure it's going to turn back on any second now."
Ugh. Shut down the mall. Send everyone home.
About 1,000 people were inside that mall
Oh.
when the whole thing came crumbling down.
Oh no.
Everyone had 20 seconds to get out of that mall.
No,
That's all they
what,
got.
20
20
seconds?
seconds is the length of the happy birthday song in Korean. If you had 20 seconds to, do you think you could go from inside of the changing room, inside of a store, get out of the store, down the hall, to the emergency staircase, down the stairs to the ground floor? Let's say you're 4 stories high, 3 stories, fine, right?
1995. 1995? Okay. June 29th, 1995. And there's still 40 people missing? How are 40 people still missing from 1995? That's crazy. That's crazy.
And at least a few more steps further to avoid impact. Could you do that in 20 seconds?
No, I got bad ankles
He
and
was
knees.
a
I ain't running for
this
shit.
guy, he was the youngest amongst all of his coworkers, which is why all the colleagues kind of like took it easy on him when he was pouting and whining the whole day. He's like, it's not fair. We work at the restaurant on the 5th floor. The AC's broken.
Oh, yeah, the
All
heat's
other
going
restaurants on
up.
this floor are closed. Why are we open? Why are we the only one? On top of that, I mean, do customers really want to eat right now? It's so hot.
So the AC just broke that day.
Yeah. All
Oh.
day it had been off.
Okay.
So it's not like ongoing. It's
No.
just it's okay.
That
Oh,
one
yeah,
day.
they should have just
So he's
closed
in
down the
front,
mall.
keeping himself busy when the head chef runs out from the kitchen. Get out, get out, get out. Pyongho's like, okay, I'm not even going to look up. He just casually says, okay, give me a second. Like, I just need to finish this up. The chef runs to Pyongho, pushes him on the back, and says, you idiot, I said run. And he looks up and he sees people booking it.
Oh, shit.
There's like 5 customers. They're booking it to the emergency stairwell. So he starts jumping over chairs, jumping over tables, trying to join them at that staircase. He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
He just knows that they're all running. And as he's running, one by one, the lights, the recessed lighting in the ceiling, they're shattering. and it's getting darker and darker.
Oh, this sounds like a video game, like a scary video game. Yeah.
One, let's call her Gia, was another employee at the mall. She worked in the basement level. So she sold
Oh
crystal
no,
balls
in
and
the
home goods shops.
basement level?
And that day, she took her break early
Shit.
'cause
Okay, couple of things. Yeah, no, I would be, like, I would not be able to, when I was a child, I fractured, not when I was a child, but when I was younger, I fractured both of my ankles, so I have some really bad ankles, and for me to do, like, physical activity, I have to really warm those suckers up, or else I'm gonna be creaking like a very old cabinet. It's gonna make all the noise. I'm not gonna be able to like adjust my weight. Like I have to physically like keep them warm and warm them up before I teach classes and everything. Like I get to my classes and in the studio space, like I have to be there at least 30 minutes before my class starts so I can specifically warm up my ankles because they're that bad. But also another thing to know, the whole like, okay, trigger warning, because once again, I live in America, and America has, you know, a history with having, you know, unfortunate accidents that happen within schools. But when I was in high school, we did not have like a pew pew situation, but someone at my school decided it would be a good idea to light a firework and put it in a trash can and then toss it over a balcony, which then caused a stampede because it then did sound like pew pews, and everyone stampeded to the outside. And okay, imagine this. You are walking down a hallway and it's all brick wall around you. This is all brick wall. You're walking down the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, it opens up and it's a giant room that was the cafeteria, a main hallway, and then the rest of the school. So I had just got out of gym. So I'm walking this way and we hear people like shouting. We're like, what the hell is going on? And we get to the end of the hallway and we look, and it's literally a stampede of people rushing this way to get to the doors on the other side that exit the building. When I say I got dragged, like literally at the time, the person I was dating grabbed onto my wrist and dragged me that direction because I was like, what's happening? I didn't even run. I was like, what's happening? Because like, once again, we were in gym. We were in like these crazy cement walls. We can't hear shit. But like, they just took me and ran. Yeah, just America thing. Well, shit like that happened at my school too. Yeah, like, don't know what this person was thinking. Like, not gonna out them or anything, but I also knew this person from Catholic school, and we ended up meeting up again in high school. That's the fool that threw the fireworks over the balcony. Just great. So yeah, so like what I've been in a situation like that where it's like a stampeding of sort of people like not knowing what's going on, and like sometimes for some people, I remember specifically during that moment, some people were like me where like they stopped and paused for a moment because they don't know what's like, you don't know what's going on, you're like, what's happening? But then you have people like who I was dating at the time being like instantly like, okay, we gotta get the fuck out of here, we gotta go, we gotta run. I now know my reactionary time of something like that, if I see a stampede, is I get frozen. I'm like, ah, and they were like, get out, we're gone, we're leaving. And I'm like, I guess I'm following you because I don't know what's happening. Anyways, let's keep going.
it was so hot. I mean, she felt like all day.
Huh.
And that worked in the basement level.
Oh yeah, she worked in the
sold, crystals at
basement.
one of those like home goods shops. And that day, she took her break early because it was so hot. I mean, she felt like all day. If she even moved fast, if she even thought fast, she would break out into a full-blown sweat. So she tried to move slowly, reserve this energy, She had to fight every intrusive thought that she had to not just walk out of that store, quit, and never look back. That's how hot it was. She takes her break early, and as she's walking back into the store, the manager, Unni, which is like an older sister, right, starts running towards her screaming, "Turn around, run, run!" The last thing Gia remembers were these little broken shards of crystal flying at her.
Oh,
She didn't
God.
understand what was happening.
Yeah.
Just that all the crystals in the shop looked like they had exploded.
Ooh, that's
Gia had 20
terrifying.
seconds to make it out alive. 19-year-old, let's call her Sarah. Sarah had just graduated from high school, and now she's working at one of these high-end children's clothing shops, basement level of the mall.
Oh
She
no,
wasn't even
basement
feeling
level.
that day. Her colleague called her and was like, "Hey, can you switch shifts with me?" So she did. She was coming back from her lunch break when she felt something really strange. There was a cold wind.
Oh.
It felt really nice because
Yeah.
she'd been sweating in this hot, humid, dank basement floor all day without the AC.
Dank. Sorry.
Did you just catch on?
Well, yeah, why is there a cold wind, right?
Exactly. She
Oh,
works
in the
at
base?
B1, the basement floor. There's
She
no
works in the-
exterior doors that could be opened to let in a breeze. It was a strong breeze too.
Oh, that's
AC was
crazy. Ooh.
Sarah would have 20 seconds to make it out alive. There is a man, 21. His name is Che Myung-seok, but we're gonna call him Michael. He actually started working at the shoe store in the Sampoong department store. He was studying architecture, but he just needed to make some extra money on the side. And he was on his shift when everything went dark. He didn't even have 20 seconds to run.
Oh
Nothing registered
no.
yet. It was just lights out, literally, figuratively. When he woke back up, everything was pitch black.
Oh
He
shit.
was laying on cold concrete.
Oh shit.
Basically boxed in by concrete. He couldn't move. On the sides of him, there was concrete. Above him, there was concrete. Below him, concrete. He just had to lay there in a fetal position, having no idea what had just happened.
Oh
no light, no
no.
food, no water. He tried to kind of push up against the jagged concrete, but he was worried that any sort of movement would cause the concrete to completely crush him.
Yo, I wouldn't even think
Even
of that. I would
the
just keep
supply
pushing, trying to get me out.
Dusty and limited. The panic starts to kick in.
Yeah.
He's like getting claustrophobia. And in any other situation, I think that this would have been terrifying. But he started hearing a woman's screams. And she
Someone
screamed,
else.
"Save me! Save me!" He said that he felt kind of happy.
Yeah, that you could hear someone else.
So he starts screaming back, "Hello?" There were now two voices responding back at him.
Oh.
So one was Lee Sung-yeon, a 25-year-old woman that worked in the kitchenware shop, also on the first basement floor, and an ajumani. So that's like an older auntie customer.
Okay.
So these are a lot of like basement workers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it because there's a higher chance of survival? Oh my
Everyone on
gosh.
floors 1 through 5, unless they were out of the building, they would die.
Oh my
They
god.
were all trapped. Just like Michael, the ajumani, the woman, they're all trapped. The ajumani could barely talk because she was actively being squashed by the concrete, like on her chest.
Oh.
The customer,
She's
an
an
older woman. Yeah, I would say maybe like 50s, 60s. And she told them in
Yeah.
all these dense breaths, like, "There's a heavy piece of concrete on my chest. I can't talk." So the two, Michael and the other kitchen shop worker, they tried to help her not panic so that she's not going to hyperventilate.
Yeah,
because
and
there's
make
no
it
way
worse.
For her to even, like, take in a big breath of air.
Yeah.
So in small breaths, in very, kind of like she's drowning, she tells the others, "My daughter turned 30 this year."
Oh.
And there was just this lingering silence. Because it's a reminder of everything that was outside.
Yeah.
And they don't know
And not in the
what to say.
not in the situation you're in.
So they fall silent.
Yeah, yeah,
He
no.
feels these tears coming down the sides of his face.
I wouldn't say I'm claustrophobic. I don't think I'm claustrophobic, but like being in a situation like that where it's like you are abruptly put in this situation, like I think anyone would feel very claustrophobic. But if you already have are claustrophobic, like yeah, no, that shit's my thing is, okay, I'm not claustrophobic, but I do have a thing about like fabrics being too tightly like bunched on me. I don't know if it's a sensory thing, but like I used to try to take aerial silks, which is if you think like of a think like Cirque du Soleil. Like they have this thing where there's a hook that's on the ceiling and then two pieces of fabric that's coming out. Technically it's one piece of fabric, but it like comes out like this and it's hanging from the ceiling. I used to do that. And a part of that is literally like putting your limbs and like kind of just like having them be bunched up and really tight in these like in this fabric and like doing different poses, stuff like that. I just stopped doing it because I used to freak out every single time my foot would be too tightly bound in fabric. And I'm like, yeah, this one's not for me. I can't do this one. I can't do anything where I have to like bound myself up to be able to get myself up. So yeah. Oh, I'm bad with escalators. I think elevators I'm pretty okay with, but escalators always like I'm like, I don't know why. I think it's just the possibility of like falling. I think that's what gets me about it. But yeah, no, elevators too. I know a lot of people like elevators. It
And he
just
says,
freaks them out.
"Then let's get out alive."
Oh
And
wait,
the three promised each other, "Okay, us three, we're gonna get out alive."
us three.
And then everything went black again.
No,
Michael and the others, they kept falling asleep, coming to, falling asleep, passing out. I wonder
That
if
makes
it's the air
sense.
supply that was cutting them off.
it could be air
It was hard to
supply.
even gauge how long they had been in there. Michael asked the others, "Hello? How long have we been in here?" The 25-year-old worker responded, but her voice sounded really weak.
Oh
"I
no.
think a day, maybe two. I don't know. It feels like a week." "Ajumani, are you okay?"
Don't.
Silence.
No, it was supposed to be them three.
"Ajumani, you have to wake up. You gotta wake up. Your daughter just turned 30.
Your daughter just turned 30.
Michael would never hear her voice again. She was gone, and she would never get to see her daughter turn 31.
No.
Not long after, the
Why would you tell me
25-year-old
it's
kitchen
them
worker
three?
called out for Michael and said, "Michael? Yeah? I think I'm gonna go now. Please tell my family I love them." Michael said that after that, the fear of death had never been so strong. Like he
Yeah.
couldn't taste it. It
You're
gripped his
so
entire
close
being.
to
He
it.
said it's very hard to explain. He had never felt anything like that. He was all alone. The two others that had, quote, survived, they were now dead. He felt like it was only a matter of time until he died, but it's a slow, agonizing wait. The anxiety, the hunger, and
And
then
lack of
all of a sudden,
water.
he just felt so thirsty. He
Yeah.
didn't even feel scared anymore. It was all he could think about was water, thirst. It's like he was going crazy.
Yeah.
Right at that time, someone answered his prayers. While he was feeling delirious, water started dripping onto his head. He didn't even know if he was dreaming.
Don't trust it. Okay, if you're in the okay. My brain instantly went to like okay, sorry, my brain jumped to like 5 different things. Sorry. Also, I saw. I hate the feeling parts of my body being yeah. Cause the constriction of the body. That's what like it's specifically my feet. I was okay with like my legs, like up higher up on my legs. That felt fine. It was just specifically my feet. I was like, hell to the no. And I think it's like a reactionary thing because I fractured both of my ankles. So I'm so cautious, and I had to do so much goddamn PT, like physical therapy to get the strength and everything back in my ankles. Like that, I'm so cautious of them getting fucked up again. Like, okay, I know this is gonna sound insane, but I'm about to show you guys something. Oh, got to show you something. Okay, I think it's already well established on this platform that I am a pole dancer. I do pole dancing. That is something I do. It is a part of my job. When I say these are the most secure suckers I've ever had on my ankles ever, I'm not lying. These are the most secure things I've ever had on my feet. I don't know if it's like the weight and like the stiffness of this material, like once my feet are in these suckers, my ankles aren't doing shit. Like my ankles are so supported. It's fucking crazy. I've never had a pair, which sounds insane because you see this, but these for some reason my ankles feel so secure. It's like a glove that was made for my feet. Like, it's insane. Like, I don't even know how to explain it besides that. But once I'm strapped in, I know for a fact that I'm not going to fuck up my ankle. I know a lot of people that do dancing and they have, like, the strappies, like strap sandals, and I can't do it. I've tried. I have a couple of pair, and I tried. I don't think I'll ever be able to live that life. Mostly because it, like, I'm terrified of, like, fucking up my ankles again. Like, it's terrifying. Oh, trust me. Trust me when I say you could kill some of these. Whenever I'm done with a gig, I'll always keep my shoes outside of my bag. Or, like, in my bag, but on the top so it's easily, like, accessed. And if someone tries, like, to jump me or, like, say shit to me, like, I can just, like, whip these suckers out. Because they are hefty. This is not like a light thing. This is like pretty hard. Like, hold on. Yeah, they're hard and they're like solid. So they got some. I can like if I needed to. Oddly, I kind of get it. They're pretty looking too. Thank you. I really like my boots. I really do. But yeah, no, those suckers. If I have them with me and I feel threatened anyway, I can like, ha with like the back of the heel or ha just swing them around and get myself out of a situation. But yeah, no, I very much need something to feel good around my ankle, or else I will freak out. And what else? What else? Yeah, they definitely could do some damage. Do a lot of property damage. Do a lot of damage to someone trying to attack me. Yeah, no. But anyways, back to this. Okay, first of all, you cannot tell me that these people were talking and they were like, yes, the three of us, we're gonna survive, and then two people die. Why are we doing this to me? Why are we doing this? Like, I feel like this is one that's gonna make me cry because I feel like they're obviously gonna delve probably in other stories of other people, but also, oh yeah, no, the water. Okay, the water. My brain, obviously being stuck there, you don't know how long you've been there, you are thirsty. If water dripped on my face, I think I would drink it. But like, do we know that it's actually water? Like, this is a building. It could be like some kind of gas that's leaking out. Or not a gas, like it could be like any kind of fluid. Because like, once again, it was a department store. There were like restaurants and things like that. So like, it could be a number of different things. It could be pipes from like sewage. Like, yes, I would want water, but like, I don't know if my brain will be able to get over that. But then again, they are in a dire situation. They are like, I don't care what this is. I am thirsty and I need it now. But yeah,
like he was going crazy. Right at that time, someone answered his prayers. While he was feeling delirious, water started dripping onto his head. He didn't even know if he was dreaming. He genuinely thought, am I hallucinating? Like, you know when you see the lakes at the desert and you keep walking towards it?
Like mirages.
But he scooted so that the water would drip directly into his mouth instead of his forehead. And he started drinking the disgusting water that was dripping into his mouth. He felt around with his hands in the dark, and there were these few pieces of like dusty, I don't even want to call it like paper, more like cardboard boxes.
Okay.
And he grabbed them, wet them in the water, and he slowly laid there, ripping it, shoving it in his mouth, chewing and eating it.
Oh, yeah.
fill his
Like
stomach with
they just
anything.
need something in
The
there.
acid was just killing him. Now,
Yeah.
side note, the water that he's drinking and that he's wetting this paper with, it's not fresh water or even tap water. It has been through layers
Oh
of
my God.
concrete dust.
I didn't even
rust,
think about the
and let's
dust. Let's it's
There's
dripping
no
with
dead
it.
bodies on top of him.
Oh my God, dead
It
bodies.
was very
Oh
risky
God.
water, but he had no choice.
Yeah, I
And
get
that's
it,
what
but
he
at the
was
same
doing
time,
for the next 11 days. That's almost 2 full weeks.
11 days. Oh, they're in the basement. They're in the
Alone in the
basement. It's
dark,
probably harder to get to
eating
them because they're in the
rusty,
basement.
wet paper.
Oh my
It was dead
God.
silent for Michael. He had no idea that on the other side of all these layers and layers of concrete and twisted metal, there were thousands of
Oh
people
shit.
trying to save him. All hell had just broken loose. This was happening on a random Tuesday afternoon. There were commuters, office workers, families driving near the mall, out walking on the streets. They hear this crazy, almost deafening noise. They look to their left. I mean, some of them it's their right. And this entire shopping mall, one of the most iconic
Oh
buildings
my
of the time,
God. It is just a
Sampoong,
pit
wherever you
now.
knew that's Sampoong Mall, right? Pancaked. This mall that was 10, 20 stories tall now looked like a 1-story building.
Yeah.
Pancaked. A pile of rubble. It wasn't even like an avalanche.
That's
where,
insane.
Things happen very quickly. But you watch those videos and you see things are slowly falling and you can't stop it, but it comes closer and closer. This was 1 second the building is standing up tall, totally fine. The next second, it's on the ground.
Okay, so
All
then
you see are skies.
contracting wise, there has
First
to be
thing
something
everyone's
there.
mind was North Korea.
Oh,
We are under
fuck.
attack. This is a full-blown war. North Korea is attacking us.
Oh,
So
God.
people are
I didn't even
running
think
away
about
from the
that.
building because they don't know, is North Korea going to attack another building?
Yeah.
But a lot of people were running towards the building to try and help anyone they could.
Oh, no.
And it was like a group of zombies were seen walking out of the mall. Their faces, their hair, their whole body was white, like powder white. Some of them had even patches of bright red blood on them.
Blood,
But the
yeah.
rest of their bodies, powder white.
Oh my
Even their
God.
eyelashes were white. It's like someone threw bags of flour at them. There was so much sand, rubble, cement, particles in the air that anyone within an 80 feet radius from the mall was covered in white powder.
Oh my God.
At this point, breaking news is playing on every single TV station, news
Yeah.
network. Sampoong department store has just collapsed. There are an estimated 1,000 people inside at the time of the collapse.
Oh
As of
my
right
God.
now,
Oh my
investigators
God. Oh
do
my
not know
God.
the cause of the attack. There is speculation that this could be the work of a terrorist attack by North Korea.
Yeah.
Hundreds of ambulances, fire trucks, they rushed the scene. About 4,000 official personnel. So, I mean, you're talking firefighters, police, soldiers.
Oh,
they started
shit.
the scene. They bring in helicopter cranes, heavy machinery, and the whole situation was
Damn.
so tricky.
Yeah.
There's 2 main issues that the rescuers are confronted with. So the first being that the left and right edges of this building have not collapsed.
Yeah, why is
It's
that?
like someone cut out just 2 edges of a cake and then squashed the middle. But the sides are standing, and now they're starting to kind of tip each
Ooh, ah.
So they're
They're
gonna fall
swaying?
Is that
Yeah,
okay.
so if you're standing in the middle of this rubble trying
Yeah.
to save the people, this falls, I mean, people are gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they can they even knock it down?
No.
Because that will fall on
Yeah,
more people.
more people.
It'll be more
So
rubble on
anyone
top
that
of
is
whatever.
at the risk of collapsing. I mean, it's like a domino waiting to topple over. It looks like a strong gust of wind could take it down.
Oh no,
It's
shit.
dangerous. And the second
Yeah.
problem is, even though that we have all of this heavy machinery, right? We've got the helicopter, fork cranes, none of it could be used. The experienced rescuers, they point out, if we use this equipment
Uh-huh.
and we're not precise, if there's someone underneath a piece of concrete, the machine could easily squash them. Or, let's say we're trying to pick up that concrete, we could literally rip
Someone in half. Oh god.
we could
Oh
literally rip their head off.
no.
Have you ever played pickup sticks? You know, you get the same size sticks, you throw them, and then you have to take each stick out without moving the other ones.
Yeah.
That's what this was a game of. And the stakes were really high. The rescuer said, I mean, people are gonna die if we don't do this
Oh
right.
fuck.
So the only
Oh,
way to save
God.
people is to use light machinery and go by hand. And just pray that the edges of the building would not collapse in on them.
By hand, they have to pick up these concrete blocks by hand, yo, that's crazy. Like, because I completely understand. I completely understand, like, that machinery that they could use could cause more damage to the situation, and literally, like, yeah, like what they said, they could literally rip people in half, make the situation a lot more worse than it is currently at the state. But yeah, damn, it's just like, goddamn, I don't know, but by hand is crazy.
So originally, the morale amongst rescuers was very, very high. I mean, it would be a miracle if anyone survived, but they at least had to try.
Yeah.
But once they got to work, they said, they noticed so many mannequin parts that were under the rubble. So looking from far on the street, they could see like arms, legs, and torsos just peeking out from the rubble. And it's unsettling, but it's like, it's to be expected. It's a shopping mall.
Yeah.
But once they lifted layers of concrete,
It was a mannequin.
they were people.
No.
The night before Michael was trapped, security guard Ian was alone doing his rounds.
Okay.
And he wasn't nervous. There's cameras everywhere, big, massive gates that are closed at night. Nobody ever tries to break into one of the top department stores in Seoul.
Oh.
But still, it's 3 a.m. and the empty building is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
All the mannequins are practically glowing under the dim lights. He has to walk from each floor to each floor, and like the echo of his footsteps, that's the cool part. Every step, it sounds like someone is walking behind him.
Yeah, because of how quiet it is.
This newly renovated hallway when he hears like this groan. It sounds like one of those
A
fantasy movies
groan?
where they have, like, monsters or
So
dragons that are groaning or hissing. And he freezes. Okay, there's no alarm sounding, so he can't be a robber, and that's not even like a human noise. It sounded like it was coming from the top floor.
Oh.
So he speed runs all the way up to the 5th floor.
Okay.
And so earlier I said the building is 10 to 20 stories high, right? It's 10 to 20 apartment stories high. But because it's one of those fancy department stores, it's only 5 levels above ground, but each level you're talking like crazy, like 30-foot ceilings.
Oh,
Double the regular.
oh shit.
So he's running up to the 5th floor, and
So this is a fancy place.
he looks up, he sees all these restaurants that are closed, and at first glance, everything seems normal. There's no one hiding, there's no shadowy figures, anything like that. And then he sees the moonlight reflecting off the glass of the restaurant. But not just even the moonlight. He sees the moon reflecting off. He's like, that is so weird. And he looks up. There is a giant table-sized hole in the ceiling.
What?
It looked like someone or something had taken a bite out of the ceiling. This is the night before the collapse. Now, if you ask any Korean person, if you had a time machine, what would you do? What was the first thing that you do with a time machine? An overwhelming majority of them would answer, I would go and buy up all the land in Gangnam.
Oh.
Yeah. So 50 years ago, if you purchased land in the city of Gangnam, which is like the Beverly Hills, the Upper East Side of South Korea, you would be part of South Korea's ultimate today.
Wait, that's... Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because what is it? It's that one song from Psy. I remember people used to like do like the open Gangnam Style. But like, I think, right? Isn't the whole song like a commentary on like people that live there and like how they're like rich and elite and like they feel like they're better than other people? Like the actual lyrics, like, I think, right? That was like the purpose of that song. Because it is like it's old money basically. So like you buy the land there. And like it's a whole concept of like they're rich and like they have like all of it and they like have control of things. I believe if I'm remembering correctly.
But how would you even know to do that? 50 years ago, Gangnam was not a fun, glamorous place. It was kind of more of a dangerous place. Gangnam is south of the Han River in Seoul, and back then the rich people only lived above the river.
Okay.
They never lived below. Anything below was considered not that classy. But somehow, this businessman by the name of Lee Jun, this influential rich businessman, he worked in the South Korean government. He had ties to the American CIA. He owned a massive construction company, and he focused on doubling his business every year, which is insane.
Doubling?
Your business every year?
That's a lot of rights.
He did this by buying up
On the side, yeah, that's
not so desirable areas like Gangnam and turning it into what it is today. And side note, he's not that smart. He's not a real estate whisperer. He was a high-up government employee, and he would get word that the government wants to develop Gangnam, or this area of Seoul, and he would just go in and buy a ton of land. Most of the time, he would just flip it and sell it back to the government at an inflated price.
Damn.
But he was going in when Gangnam real estate was selling for less than $6 a square foot.
Oh.
Now,
How much
it's
is
about
it?
$1,000 a square foot.
Holy fucking
I
shit.
did some math. That means if you bought an apartment that's about 1,500 square feet, that would have been about $10,000. Today, that same piece of land, $1.5 million. So Lee, with his insider information,
Yeah.
he bought over 2 million square feet in Gangnam back when it was dirt cheap. But he's like, you know what? Why would I sell this land back? I
Yeah.
should develop it. I should do something. There's new fancy schools coming into Gangnam. Like some colleges are coming in. We got some private schools coming in. We got all these. So Gangnam is kind of known as like the new money area.
Oh, it's new
Old
money. I thought it
Koreans
was.
actually still live above the river. They
I
say.
thought it was old
In
money.
Gangnam, you've got all like the lawyers, doctors, like the professionals moving in. So he's like, I need to make a department store. Because what do new money residents like? They like labels. They want to show people they have money. So back in the day, you know, Korean stores, you go there, it's utilitarian. You go and you buy what you need. I'm going to make it super aesthetic. I want it to be a one-shop stop. I want them to come. It's a social event. They eat dinner. There's fancy restaurants. There's a fancy supermarket. I want everything in there.
There
So
was
he
a
has this construction
supermarket in
company
there?
called Woosung Construction. Apparently, they're actually really good. They've got a very clean reputation, or relatively clean. A lot of people vouch for their durability. Like right now, if you see new apartments, it might even say like Woosung Constructed, because people really like it.
Oh,
So Lee
okay.
tells Woosung, I want a 4-story commercial building. They're like, okay. They start drawing out the plans. They start building the building. And halfway through, they've
Maybe I misheard.
got
Hold
the
on.
main foundation up. Lee walks into their office, sits down. You know what? Let's add another floor. Make it
Yo, I was just about to say that because I'm like, wait, did she say 4 stories? I thought they made it very adamant that this was a 5-story building. Or like they wanted 5 floors in this building. You can't just. If you start construction already, and that's like, yeah, let's just like add another floor on top of this. You literally have to start from scratch again. That means you have to like prepare the foundation to be able to hold that much. Please tell me that this company that people are still vouching for didn't just go along with it. Like, okay, yeah, sure, you have money, I guess. I hope that's not the situation.
better number, right? 4 is a bad number. 5 is good. Woosung is looking at him like, are you dumb? You cannot just add another floor. That's not how it works. If you want another floor, we have to start over. We have to bulldoze everything down and start over.
Yeah.
If you add another floor without altering the current plans, the building would have way too much weight and stress on the foundation, and it's going to be compromised.
Yup.
So Lee gets up and says, okay, well then you're fired. He goes and he hires a new construction team.
Are you kidding
One that
me?
has a very hard time saying no to him. His
Oh,
own construction team.
his
He acts like he is
own.
the construction engineer, the architects. If you say no to him, you're fired and potentially blacklisted from the industry. And so they made his ultimate dream come true. His team built the Sampoong department store. It would be the second biggest department store in the nation at the time.
Ugh.
Insane amounts of money. The first year they were open, they were projected to do about 150 million in revenue. That's calculated with inflation. The second year, they doubled. 300 million a year in revenue.
Oh, shit.
Sampoong department store was built with the intention that you don't have to go anywhere else, okay? Everything's in these 2 buildings. So there's building A and building B, and they're connected on each floor by these long hallways. But the hallways are not the width of building A and B. So it looks like, kind of from an aerial view, it looks like 2 squares with a short line in between, like a short stick connecting them.
Okay.
Now, you don't ever have to leave the building to get to the other one, but
Oh.
it's interesting. Building A was the mall. The 5th floor would have all these fancy sit-down restaurants. You could meet up with your friends before you go
It's a family
shopping.
wedding.
And then the 4th
gym,
floor,
and
luxury household goods, fancy wine glasses.
fitness center,
3rd
grocery
floor,
and
men's
kitchenware.
clothing.
What the
2nd floor,
fuck is
women's
this
clothing.
place?
1st floor, foreign imported goods and cosmetics. Now, there are 4 basement levels. B2 through B4, they're more for like storage, machine rooms, parking spaces. And
Okay.
B1 is kind of open to the public. It's a mall. So a lot of Korean malls, they have supermarkets on the basement level.
Which is
So you can
that's
really run farm errands.
crazy.
Kind of genius. They
Yeah.
also have cheaper food courts in the basement. So more like food stands.
Yeah.
So B1 is open to the public, and there's always a lot of customers and workers shuffling in and out of that floor.
Yeah. Makes
Now,
sense.
Building B is more commercial real estate. So you got office buildings, you have a gym, but that's about it. Not a lot of foot traffic, not a lot of aesthetics. It looks like just your office plaza.
Okay.
Okay, so what's so wrong about it? Here's what's wrong about it.
They add another
The
floor.
escalators. Most buildings,
escalators?
and I never noticed this until I was researching this, but there's usually 2 escalators per floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like 2 going up, 2 going down, especially big malls.
Mhm.
And I always thought, okay, so it's more people can go up and down the escalators, manage the traffic.
No,
right?
isn't it a
And I'm
safety
sure
thing?
That plays a role. But a big reasoning behind it is apparently having 2 escalators going up and down on either side helps distribute the weight better.
Oh, wait. Really?
That's a thing, okay? Apparently having 2 escalators on a floor helps distribute the weight, making it safer. And Lee said, actually, no, that's so expensive. I just need 1. So he kept putting just 1 escalator on each floor. In massive buildings, especially commercial buildings, there are these giant rods in the middle of the open space. They're load-bearing columns. They're there to hold weight. So if you walk in to your local mall, you're going to see these giant round columns. It's drywalled. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, why is this here? It's blocking my view. It's to hold weight.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that you can have this massive room and just have 4 walls. Well, the original plan was to have 31-inch thick columns. It's about 2.5 feet thick.
Yeah.
And inside, you can't see it because it's covered in drywall, but there's supposed to be 16 steel rods supporting the weight. Lee said, let's make the columns less than 2 feet thick because I don't like big columns. I want to be able to see the merchandise. And why do we need 16 steel rods? Let's do 8. This is a huge...
What the Okay. Here's the thing. If you already had the blueprints, you basically have the blueprints already from a different construction company that, is reputable. And they already, laid out everything for you. Like, you just really wanted to add another, floor. Why then are you changing so much? You're changing so much of that plan. And that plan, because at this point, I don't even think it's a money thing. It literally is just all, they were saying preference. Like, let's make it, skinnier because I don't like it. I don't want it to be, blocking so much stuff. Sometimes I hate people.
Deal. The steel rods are what's holding up the weight of
Yeah.
lack of steel rods so seriously. Recently in Korea, a apartment building company, they put in less steel rods than they were supposed to.
Ooh.
They were exposed for it, and now that building is called Boneless Chicken Apartment Building.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
There's still a building.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's up to code, but it's not as good or as much as other builders do. So they're called Boneless Chicken Apartment Building.
Damn.
Because why are you not
Greed
steel
is
rods,
truly
seriously?
disease. Yes.
Lee said
Yes,
he
a
hated the
disease.
idea of thick columns, so let's cut it down. But that's not the only thing that he skimped out on cost. So this is going to get really
Oh, so
complicated,
it
but
was
it's
on
important.
cost.
So
What the
important.
fuck?
When you have a flat ceiling and a column right up against it, it's called flat slab construction. Or at least in Korean, that's what it's called.
Okay.
It looks modern, it's faster to build, it's cheaper, but it's definitely not safer. It can cause something called a punching phenomenon. Imagine you've got a piece of paper and you're holding it down on a pencil. The pencil could easily punch through into the piece of paper.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to stick another circular piece of paper on the point of the pencil and then stick another paper on top, it's much harder for for you to stick through, even though it's just paper. It's very hard to punch through 2 layers. That's
Okay.
the drop panel. That's what it's called. So think of it as, instead of walking through the mud with sneakers, you're walking through with heels. The difference is massive.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
heels are
Yeah.
gonna poke into the soil.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But Lee, rich businessman, owner of a crazy lucrative construction company, says, should be okay. He knew that this
Okay, lucrative because you're the one putting your money in, because it's your company. It's lucrative because you are firing a shit ton of people and cutting on all these costs. That's why it's lucrative. Bolus Chicken Partner Billy is a crazy name. That is a crazy name. Bolus. It is a crazy name. That's what a crazy name. To jail, straight to jail. This man. I hope he's in jail. I hope he is having the day that he deserves. I don't even know if this person's still alive. Like, I don't even know what's happening right now. Damn. Like, this one got me fucked up of just like how dumb someone can be. And like, okay, here's the thing. My knowledge within this field only is due to plumbing. My family actually owns and have been like, there's generations of plumbers in my family. So like there's a lot of people. And like when I was younger, one of my cousins who was also, a plumber. A lot of my cousins are plumbers. A lot of people are in that industry. They like would have to babysit me, or like me and my cousins and stuff like that. So they literally would just take us on jobs, which isn't the most professional thing, but they used to take us on jobs and then have us just like hold things or get them things. So like, yeah, but like straight up, like, so I know like structurally wise, like sometimes in buildings, like I can tell sometimes from the outside and like seeing people's like piping and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this building is not up to code and there is probably water leaking somewhere and just waiting to like seep through and cause holes and havocs everywhere. Straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. Straight to jail. Just nothing. You get nothing. You have the day that you deserve, sir. I can't with them. But yeah, no. So like, that's like, oh my god. This is really a dumb example. Me and my best friend were driving. We had just gotten food, and we were driving back to our work together. And we work that's like really near a shopping center, a shopping mall. And we were, not a shopping mall, like just like a mall. And where we ate was like in that district. And we were driving, and there was like big construction things happening. And we looked over, and they were like, oh, I wonder if that's gonna be like a parking deck or something. And I looked, I'm like, no, I'm like, those are plumbing lines, meaning they are putting down foundation for pipes for plumbing. I'm like, so they wouldn't have to do that besides just for like the building half, like top half, to like get water out from like roofing or anything like that. But like they had plumbing that looked like on the outside and inside, meaning that like they're gonna have actual bathrooms. So I'm like, yeah, no, that looks like it's gonna be a different type of building, maybe like another like strip of like shops that can be right there. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is this man's a fool. He's a fool and does not get to go past go. Straight to jail.
It's a bad idea. He
Go to
knew
jail.
this was
Yes,
dangerous,
yes.
But it saved him money. So he was all aboard.
Dumbass.
Fine, columns are strong. But they're not, especially when you take out half the steel rods, like half the skeleton of the column is
Yeah.
gone. But the worst, the biggest hazard of this
There's a
building
worse?
was the 5th floor. It should
Yeah.
not have existed. The building was not designed to hold the weight of another floor. It sounds
Oh
like,
my
it's just another
God.
floor.
No.
That is the additional 25% of the overall weight
Yeah.
added, if not more. That is huge. At first, he told his team, it's going to be for a roller skating rink, which honestly would have been a lot safer. Less
Really?
traffic, not as much furniture.
You know
But
what?
instead,
Yeah.
He said, you know what makes more money? Restaurants. Restaurants are insanely heavy. commercial
They're
ovens,
so
commercial
heavy.
walk-in
Yes.
freezers, industrial-sized refrigerators, lots of water. Lots of water is heavy.
Yeah,
Since
water's
there's gonna
so
be multiple
heavy.
kitchens on that floor. I mean, you're talking AC up there is going to be intense. Restaurants are also more densely packed than a roller skating rink.
Yup.
The entire weight distribution and calculations were going off the walls. You know those big Amazon delivery trucks? Well,
Yeah.
the weight of the 5th floor was about 100 of those delivery trucks. Imagine putting
Uh-huh.
100 of those on the roof where it should not be. That's just the 5th floor. That's not. Oh, and he wanted to do heated floors for the 5th floor, which added 2,415.
Why? Why would you need heated floors on the 5th floor? Why would you need that? That seems so dumb. You're putting more heat up there. Literally, the heat rises in buildings. If you live in an apartment building, you know this pretty well. If you were on the top floor, all the heat that is below you is rising up, and you're unfortunately the one that gets all the heat. In the wintertime, it's pretty great, but like during summer, it fucking sucks. Construction is not something you can just just be willy-nilly, be like, I know we already have like this building here, and like it's already like 4 floors, but I just want to like add another one for fun. Like, yeah. Like, no, you don't fucking do that. You don't do that shit. Like, it's fucking insane. Like, this is fucking insane. And also, heated floors? Why? Why would you need heated floors? Why do you want your feet to be so heated? They have shoes on. They have shoes on. Why would they need heated floors if they have shoes on? Like, oh my god. Like, I feel like I'm gonna pop a blood vessel in my brain from this one.
Just for heated floors.
Why would you
And
need...
on top of that, there was even more. So the roof of the
How?
5th floor on building A were these giant AC
AC
cooling
units.
towers.
It's the
They weighed
units.
87
Fuck.
tons each.
Yeah, no, those
There's
are
3 of them.
big suckers.
So the total of that, to visualize, imagine sticking 2 houses on top of
Yeah.
the roof of the mall that is already unstable.
Fuck. No wonder
this
there's
is
like
crazy.
something like
Just on top of
punched
the roof.
through the ceiling.
Now,
From the
here's what they
pressure.
were really wrong on the roof. So firstly, the AC towers on this specific roof is a death wish. The vibrations that the AC creates, it only further destabilizes the building's foundation. That's what causes cracks, vibration, movement.
Mm-hmm.
And so since the get-go, like opening day of this mall, they could see the red flags. The vibrations and the weight of the heavy AC cooling towers, they were causing water leaks onto the 5th floor.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the water would leak out of the AC, there would be a crack, and it would flow through.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
But the biggest atrocity of what they did on that roof, the AC towers were facing towards a nearby apartment building. All the residents of that apartment building were like, the AC towers are so loud. We're filing complaints. You gotta do something about it.
Okay.
So they had to move the AC towers to the other side of the roof. Now, to do something like that, what do? You have to call in industrial cranes. You
Yeah.
have to have a ton of professionals on site to make sure that it's done safely and securely. It's a pricey...
They didn't do that. They definitely didn't do that.
Very wealthy mogul said, too expensive, get a couple of dollies.
Wow, so they just scooped it over.
They didn't even scoop it because there's no dollies that can carry that much.
Yeah.
They basically dragged it. And if you see pictures of that roof,
It's
like
so
opening
fucking
year,
cracked.
There's cracks all over.
Oh my god.
And now they move the ACs to the other side, and what do? They vibrate and cause even more cracking now to even the other side of the building.
Oh
Now, here's
my
where it gets
god.
Kind of unexpected. This one I
How?
wasn't expecting at all. One of the first stores that opened up inside this mall actually contributed to the collapse. A bookstore.
Oh, books are fucking heavy as
Korean
shit.
books are even heavier than foreign books because they use a higher portion of stone powder in the paper.
Oh
A year and a half
shit.
after opening, the bookstore would be relocated from the second floor of the mall down to the basement because that bookstore was causing so much damage to the building.
Yeah.
From the sheer
Weight.
of
It's the weight. It's all the
and
weight.
shitty construction. If this had been a well-built building, there wouldn't have been any damage.
So they realized.
But they don't have.
Something is
Yeah,
happening.
they already know the
There
foundation
were cracks
shit.
all over the second floor.
What?
There was bending in the floor. There was drooping in the floor. The floor was tilted where the bookstore was.
Wow.
It was
Nobody did anything.
tilted?
No, the entire building started to lean a little bit. And all it
That's
would take
terrifying.
for the entire building to crumble. And literally not a single part of this rescue was easy.
Oh, yeah.
End of June in South Korea is typically a very rainy season. The rain was pouring down on the rescue efforts.
Oh, there's water in the roof.
Theory, it might have been good since when a building
Oh, this is already
collapses,
down. Never
there's
mind.
always small fires trapped inside the rubble. You've got open electrical wires, you've got appliances, and poisonous gas, they start to spread.
Yeah.
Which, you know, pretty quickly could kill any survivor that's trapped inside that manages to find an air pocket. So the rain, in theory, would have been helpful, but it was just a massive inconvenience. Like, the rain was not enough to put out the fires, but it was enough to slow down the rescuers. Firemen had to come in and try to calm any potential flames. And the first 16 hours of rescue efforts, 5 people were rescued. So there was some progress. And unfortunately, one of the survivors would die on the way to the hospital. Then, 24 people who were trapped in the same air pocket were rescued. They were pulled out by rope. Nothing was going smoothly. I mean, they pulled them out, but there were still hundreds and hundreds of people that were unaccounted for. And the rescuers were nonstop sprinting from place to place. They're crawling inside of holes that are already unstable. They're shimmying themselves through the collapsed basement level, squeezing past these broken shards of glass beams, like shining their flashlight into whatever nook and cranny they could find, screaming to see if anyone survived.
Yeah.
They would dig holes the size of a kitchen sink and just start crawling in there. They like put their lives in danger for every second that they were there because they just wanted to save people.
Yeah, they want to get people out.
A lot of the people,
but they get,
because it was a Tuesday afternoon, were young moms and children.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
The missing and the victims, they all gathered. They tried to help. Random civilians that had no family members in there, they were putting their lives on the line to help save people.
God damn it!
Doctors grabbed their white coats and went to local hospitals because there were way too many people coming in.
Yeah.
A ton of ajumas, middle-aged women.
Yeah.
They were too old, too frail to dig, but they created these organized groups and they would cook for the thousands of rescuers.
No.
But
sorry, I'm already tearing up because of this.
For the rescue teams was dying. Which
yeah.
is bad because.
But it's
how can
inevitable. People are just
that others need saving, right? But they're working.
But people love Steve, yeah.
Every single day, and all they're getting after the first initial groups of survivors is bad news.
Yeah.
They're just getting bad news. Another body, another body, another body. 10 days had passed, and it's the rule of 3. Do you know the rule of 3?
No.
Wait,
3 minutes without oxygen.
Yeah.
3 days without water. 3 weeks
without food. Yeah.
And you'll die. It had been 10 days. No food, no water, limited oxygen, and potentially injuries on top of all of that. The rescuers thought, okay, maybe it's time to go from rescue to
recovery. Yeah.
The faster, the better. July is peak monsoon season. It's only going to get worse. We got to go. People said you could smell rotting corpses even if you were blocks away from the site.
Yeah, because
they started bringing in the heavy machinery. The chief of police asked all the family members who are still present at that site, come on, we got to do one last go before we bring in the machines. Call your loved ones. We can't hear anyone. Maybe we can hear their phone. And so all of them were standing around with their phone, calling their missing loved ones.
Oh, no.
And they're just trying to listen, but they can't hear a single thing.
That's traumatic, though.
Donate these sound detectors to help rescuers find the phones underneath. The Korean government was already equipped with heat sensors, which is typically used to locate bodies. But the heat sensors, they work with infrared light. And when it rains, the raindrops scatter the
infrared,
and it becomes wildly inaccurate. 11 days had passed. And now rescuers were like, okay, no one survived. So let's bring in the machinery.
Okay, like, think about that, too. Sorry, I'm already going to put this back because, like, I need a moment. Like, think about that. It is, one, mother and children. It's a Tuesday afternoon, I guess. Like, so, you know, they're just out and about doing the things that they need to do, getting their errands done, and this building collapses on them. It's now 10 days. People are losing hope. Then to have these people who are still missing their loved one being like, oh, call them on your phone, use your phone to call them, and then have these people literally just keep hearing the ringing and the ringing and the ringing and hoping that they pick up or they could hear it. Like, oh my god, I wouldn't even know what to, like, I couldn't even imagine, like, at all. And then, like, on top of that, then nothing. Hearing nothing, not hearing any ringtone at all from anyone. And it being silent. And them being like, okay, yeah, no one survived. And then having that mass grief with one another in that same moment of being like, that was our last like triumph. Like, it was our last like try to even like have a thought that they are still alive and that there's still hope. Oh my god, like that's like soul crushing. Like a soul crushing, like a soul crushing situation to be in. It's just, oh my god, I can't even imagine. Really, I can't imagine.
Inaccurate. 11 days had passed, and now rescuers were like, okay, no one survived.
Yeah.
So let's bring in the machinery. Michael thought that he was going to die in there. But on the 11th day of rescue, a rescuer stopped, he blinked, he scrambled, grabbed his flashlight from his back pocket, and flashed it into the hole. Hello? Is anyone there? And he put his ear up against the hole, and this tiny little voice says, I'm here. The other rescuers, they don't even believe him. So he's like, come, come, come. And they all make him say, I'm here again. And everyone starts swarming. I mean, 11 days in.
Yeah.
They had to penetrate an extra 4 feet of thick, reinforced concrete to get him out. He was out at 8:30 a.m., 230 hours after the collapse.
Oh my god.
He was carried out on a stretcher.
Oh my god. Look at his face. The joy.
Volunteer rescue workers, they're all cheering, they're all clapping. I mean, this was the victory that they needed.
Yeah.
Like, take the machines off. We're going back to hand.
Yeah, the morale.
There could be others.
The morale.
Meanwhile, Gia did not share this excitement. She thought she was going to die. For the past few days, the concrete on top of her face was coming closer and closer and closer. It was pure torture.
Oh my
God.
god.
It was getting stuffier, and she felt panic. The walls are literally closing in on her, but in the slowest way possible.
Yeah.
She wanted to scream like, oh my god, just squish me already.
Wait, she's the 25-year-old?
No.
Oh.
A different worker, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, the anxiety of it about to come down was worse than just dying, she said.
Yeah.
I mean, she was buried
It's
in
it's torture.
her back, so her legs were trapped under a concrete pole.
Oh
And she
shit.
was thankfully in an air pocket, but she can't move.
Yeah.
So at first, Gia is screaming her head off, hoping that people can hear her.
Oh, save
She's
your
like,
energy.
"Oh,
Save your
yeah."
energy.
But nobody came. So she just said she kept falling asleep. That's all she could do. I don't know.
Was
if
she
her
in the
brain
basement
forced
as
her to
well?
sleep. She just said, I kept falling asleep. I kept dreaming that I was home. I just wanted to go home. And I kept thinking, oh my God, my dad is sick. My mom is worrying about me. And now I'm going to be even a bigger burden.
Wait,
58
what?
hours passed. So like 2.5 days in. Remember the rule of 3? 3 minutes, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. 2.5 days in, she's so thirsty. At this point, she can't even think about anything but her thirst.
Yep.
And water starts flowing. And she takes a sip and she immediately coughs it out. She had rust water.
Ooh.
She waited till more water came in, and instead of letting it flow directly into her mouth because it tasted so disgusting and rusty,
Yeah.
she grabbed a piece of her clothing, soaked it in the water, and then just kind of wet her lips with it.
Damn.
She had no idea how many days had passed. All she knew was she was starting to hallucinate.
Mm-hmm.
The part where her legs were trapped, she felt like her legs were walking. She felt like her legs were floating at one point when it clearly wasn't. She was like losing her mind.
Mm-hmm.
She was losing sensation in her legs. She just kept going back to sleep. And then the next thing she knew, there's heavy machine sounds and the concrete's just getting closer and closer and closer.
Oh no.
Would they push the concrete until it completely suffocated her? Would they push the concrete till it squished her?
Oh
What's gonna
no.
happen? Would the excavator just come down and rip her up? Her bottom legs are stuck, so
Yeah, she can't move.
Gia felt terror.
Yeah.
Sheer terror. She only had like 10 inches left when all of a sudden she hears a voice. Stop! Stop! Do you hear something? At around 2 p.m. on the 13th day,
13
a
days.
rescuer saw her foot. And they yelled, "If you're alive, move your feet!" Gia tried to wiggle her toes, but she didn't even know if it was wiggling because she lost sensation a long time ago. And she screamed, "Save me!" The rescuer clawed through the cement by hand.
Oh my
and Gia just
God.
remembered thinking, I'm found. She said it wasn't, I lived. She didn't say it was, I survived. She just thought, I'm found. Good. I don't care if I die right now. Because at least they found my body.
Yeah.
So I'm normal now.
Oh my God.
Interviewed and asked, like, what is the first thing you want to say to your daughter? And she said, do I even need to say anything?
Yeah.
And they were trying to ask, like, did you think your daughter was dead? Because it had been 13 days.
Don't even
They
ask
said, "Did you
that.
think she had?" And her mom stops the journalist and says, no, I didn't think that. I'll never think that because the day she dies is the day I die.
Yeah, don't ask that to someone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like don't
After
ask that to someone who
285
just got
hours,
like their child just got
And at that
rescued.
point, the ceiling was so low, it was touching her nose. She was not even inches, but centimeters away from death. And everyone was like, okay, that's crazy, right? But there's no way there's going to be more survivors. There's only so many miracles that the universe can give us.
Yeah.
On the 15th day, another woman is
15?
Let's
15.
call her Sammy. She was trapped in a small pocket of air in the children's clothing section. She heard the voice of her colleague screaming, "Help me!" And she just kept screaming, panicking, "Help me, there is this concrete pinning my waist down." She was getting crushed.
Oh
And there was
no.
no way Sammy could even get to her. And she tried telling her, "It's okay, it's okay." But after a day or two, there was no more noise.
Oh no.
Sammy said, all she did was try and fall asleep.
Okay, see, I'm trying to put myself in this situation. A building collapsed on top of you. You are in this pocket of air. You're still breathing. You're still conscious. I'm trying to figure out if it would be more like mentally detrimental to have someone else in that space with you, but have that person like die, like they're no longer responsive around you, or would you feel like being in the situation and not having a sense of time and not hearing anyone else, would that feel more mentally like I'm trying to figure out which one like I would like if I was in this situation, if which one would be more detrimental to me, because like once again, like the first guy that we talked about, Michael, like he had two people that he was talking to, and then one of them just stopped responding. The other one just accepted the fate that was for them, unfortunately. Like, because like like after a while, you're sitting there in the dark in this enclosed place by yourself, like that could like drive anyone insane. But like empathy wise as a human, like knowing that there are people close enough that you could talk to them but not close enough that you can help and save them in any way, like yeah, I don't know which one would be more mentally detrimental. Like it's just I think I'd rather have someone with me, even if it's only for a little while, maybe. Yeah, because like I don't know if you just like, because the latter half would like you be by yourself and you may like just go insane, like just go a little insane, like hallucinate, do those things. Yeah, no, it's oh, it's so rough. Like I don't know, but I'm a very like I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh God.
No idea how long she was in there. Sammy would be the last survivor found in the rubble. There would be
And day
no more
15?
survivors after that.
Oh.
Before we get to the depressing recovery,
Yeah.
South Korea did try to bring up the morale of the country and the three survivors. So Michael, Gia, and Sammy almost became these beacons of hope for people. Michael was seen as this national hero for not only somehow miraculously surviving in the rubble for 11 days, but also his iconic wave on the stretcher.
Oh, wait,
Companies started
really?
offering him gigs to model for them. Schools were
That's
offering this
cute.
full ride scholarships.
Oh, that's really
There's
nice.
this stereotype that the younger generation were weak and not as tough as their parents in South Korea, but this was completely obliterated.
Yeah.
This idea. And just like Michael, Gia, the one who survived 13 days, she made headlines because when she was pulled out of there, reporters asked her while she was on the stretcher, "How do you feel? Any plans now that you've been saved?" And she said, "I want to go on a date with the oppa that rescued me." And people thought it was such an unhinged, hilarious, fun answer to such a serious, depressing situation.
But also at the same time, this person just got rescued. They just got rescued. They are tired. They were for the person Gia, right? Gia was in there for 13 days. She was in there for 13 days. And you immediately asked her on the stretcher, trying to get an interview with them. Get them some clean water. Check on their vitals. Tend to their wounds. Why are you up in their grill being like, any plans since now you can see the light of day again and you're no longer trapped in a claustrophobic situation and rubble and, almost inches away from death? Speak in. I would be like, bitch, if you don't back the fuck up. I'm like, I will backhand you. Yeah, no, iconic for the person to be like, I'm just gonna go, I want to go on a date with the person that, rescued me. Iconic. Also, people wanting to uplift and help these individuals that were in this situation. Yeah, journalists are going to hell for sure. Yeah, a lot of journalists out there are definitely going to hell. And, because, once again, why are you in their space? Why are you in their grill like that? They literally just got saved. They don't want to talk to you. They maybe want to talk to their loved ones, not another stranger. I can't. I can't. I'm that person that will literally scream and shout at people. I scream and shout at people all the time. If you couldn't tell by all of this. And also me talking about how I would beat the shit up with someone with these heels if I had to. I can get confrontational if I need to be. But no, iconic once it got out. Iconic that these people outside that are in the community that were in Korea, they were like, we want to sponsor you, we want to help you with your education so you don't have to worry about it after going through something like this and surviving and blah blah blah. That's great. It is a more morale boost. It is a morale boost, not just for the individual, but also for other people around as well. But yeah, no, I think that's great.
The last 3 survivors were asked, what food do you want to eat the most?
Oh.
Michael said, Coca-Cola. I want to drink an ice-cold Coke.
Oh.
Gia said, iced coffee. Sammy said, I just want some ice cream.
Oh.
Every soda, iced coffee, ice cream brand went nuts trying to sign these 3 for brand endorsements.
That's crazy.
Gia kept making jokes. Nobody knew if they could keep laughing or not. When she was rescued, she complained, why'd you guys come so fast? I could have stayed there a few days longer. Let me go back in there.
Icon.
His head shaved to run some tests, and he was so embarrassed. Anytime reporters ran into his hospital room, he would put on his little beanie, his little hat. And I think that these are the stories that people wanted to focus
They
on.
want to put the humanity back into it.
It's just so dark.
Yeah, they want humanity back into all those situations.
Almost all the rescues, especially the ones that weren't immediate, they were all subground level. So they were all in the basement. The other floors, this is a picture of what it looked like. There was no way that people were going to survive that collapse unless maybe you were on the roof, which probably not even that. Pomo, the magne working on the restaurant floor of the 5th floor, he was rescued pretty early on. He had made it kind of basically out. I think he was hit by just some debris. Okay. And he said, every single person I spoke to that day, the head chef, my colleagues, customers, I would later see all their names written on the deceased list.
Oh my god. Oh my
Another
god.
survivor said, I just don't understand the point of life.
Dark humor is.
Like, the people that died.
Yeah, dark humor is a lifesaver sometimes. Yeah, no, totally. Totally. But like even that thought of like every individual that I saw today is no longer here anymore. Like every single person that I interacted with, like survivor's guilt is a thing. I kind of have like I have just splashes of that with all my other very fun neurodivergent situations that happens with me. I do have a little bit of survivor's guilt, as well mixed in with all of it. So like I can't. I could relate and empathize with like the fact that like every single person that you talk to in the situation is no longer here anymore, and you'll never get to have another conversation with them. Like it's oh my god, it's just so so draining.
There were really rich people. There were workers like me. There were people who went to church. There were people who studied really hard.
Yeah, it comes for us all.
Yet everyone died.
Yeah.
Everyone had a chance to fight for their lives.
Oh my god.
So what is the point of anything at all?
Yeah.
Families of victims.
Oh, I've been there before.
Never ending. I do want to say that the rescue efforts were admirable. The rescuers, they did everything. But
Yeah.
the system itself was flawed. Korea didn't have a strong system to respond to these types of crises, which, like, I don't know if they still do with after Itaewon and Seoul, but at the time, it was so disorganized. Family had no idea if loved ones were alive, survived, deceased, at a hospital, which hospital. Nobody had a clue. The site was left open for people to just come and volunteer. And so a lot of people would come and volunteer. But there were also a lot of hyenas. What do you think the hyenas did? They were dubbed hyenas by the media.
What?
About 400 hyenas were arrested during rescue efforts. Families are crying. Rescuers are risking their lives.
They're stealing stuff?
They're
No fucking way.
And stealing designer goods.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Now I'm gonna start crying for another reason. Okay, I'm so sorry. I all of my emotions are linked to crying. So whenever I have a very strong emotional reaction to something, my tear ducts just start to go. It doesn't matter if it's a good, a bad, like it's always linked to my tear ducts. Like the anger that I feel right now. The anger that I feel right now. Like, there are people mourning the lives that were lost. Some were kids, some were, and like you're there stealing. It's just more greed. It's all more greed. Like that's, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna look at the ceiling for a hot second so I don't start crying on camera. Let's not do that today. But like, oh my god, like, fuck. The lack of empathy sometimes. The lack of empathy sometimes in the world and humanity is like just crushing sometimes. It really is. It's just crushing sometimes. Oh, Jesus Lord, god damn it.
When one was arrested, they just callously responded, well, they were all gonna go to the dump anyway. Another man was caught volunteering wearing 10 pairs of designer pants. 10 pairs. When asked, why the hell were you stealing 10 pairs of designer pants? He said, what are you talking about? I was saving lives and I got cold in the middle of June. So I just put on whatever was near me.
Which was all pants, apparently.
When the building fell. He's an attorney, and he didn't hear about it until way later. He was at a 회식 with his coworkers, and they were drinking, they're eating, and he just had this pit in his stomach when people were like, oh, you didn't hear about the mall? So his wife and his 3 adult daughters, they loved going to that mall. So he calls his wife. She picks up, and he's like, oh, my God, thank God. Okay, you're home, right? Are the girls home? Did you hear about what happened at the department store? She's like, what? No, the girls are there shopping. Mr. Jung's coworker said that he didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
1 minute he was on the phone, the next minute he was out the door. He ran on foot to the department store.
I
and
would
all
too,
he saw
man.
was rubble. He started climbing on the rubble in his suit, just clawing, looking for his girls. He went to every single hospital in the city. He talked to nurses, doctors, looked at hospital morgues. The day after the collapse, he would be told that all 3 of his children.
Oh my
And he
God.
said, after what my wife and I went through that day, I just hoped that the sky would fall and the earth would give out and we would just all die.
Yeah.
And of course, he feels for every single daughter, but he really felt for his
He
eldest.
He lost.
Because she had fought and beaten all odds. His eldest daughter went blind when she was 12 years old. She worked harder than anyone he knew. Harder than all of his adult coworker, colleagues, attorneys combined. She ended up getting her master's in special education at UC Berkeley in the United States.
Oh my
She came
God.
back to teach special education at Seoulde, which is the best school in the entire country. And her dad said she couldn't see in front of her, but she just always had a vision. And she fought all these odds to be here,
And
now
now,
she's gone. There was
God damn
another
it.
family, the Lee family, and Mom Lee, Mrs. Lee, she was telling her daughter for months, like, give up the dreams of the department store. And her daughter told her, no, if I'm going to be a fashion designer, I can't just rent a small shop anywhere. I have to make a big statement. I'm going to get foot traffic. I know it's a lot of money, but I've saved up my entire life savings. I'm going to rent this tiny little shop. It's my dream.
Oh.
And she signed the lease 2 months before the collapse.
Oh no.
And Mrs. Lee said all that nagging she did, completely forgot about it. Because the minute that she saw her daughter in that shop, just how much passion she had for what she was doing, how could she not support her?
Oh no.
She was at her shop when the building went down.
Oh no. Fuck
And this
me.
part is so dark, but it feels really raw. A lot of families reported feeling shame and guilt afterwards.
Yeah.
Because they were all there, and when survivors were being found, they would see survivors reunite with their families,
And
they
they
said
get.
they would feel intense jealousy.
Yeah. No.
'Cause
That
it's only
makes it.
human.
Yeah.
And then immediately they would feel so ashamed for feeling so jealous, and it made them feel so
Yeah.
gross.
No.
But they had this like, ugh, that should be me. So
Or
after the last
wishing that it
remaining
was
survivors
them.
were
Yeah.
rescued, the government decided they needed to start clearing out the debris. They said it was dangerous to just have it out in the open, so they just
'Cause the
started
site
using
should be
rubble
closed.
to dump sites. And a lot of victims have not been found yet. So families were at dump sites by themselves, no rescue workers.
So you're telling me the government made a decision that a site that they did not close, that was open to the public because, people were volunteering, but it wasn't closed off. The debris was out there. Instead of, then putting in regulations to close off the site where the building had fallen, to continue the work, to then discourage more people to go in. Instead of doing that, they scooped up the rest of the debris, dumped it at dump sites. So now these people, is that why 40 people are still missing? Because they scooped them all up and they put them into dump sites, and now families have to go to these dump sites to dig for their love. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am close to shaking with rage right now.
Digging through the rubble.
Yeah.
At that point, some of them only found bones.
Oh my God.
And if there was any flesh, they were unrecognizable.
Oh my God.
This wall had been built 6 years ago. It wasn't even around for. I mean, you go and you look at houses in LA. There's houses from like 1920s still.
Yeah.
So for it to collapse, injuring over 900 people, killing 502 people, and resulting in 40 people that are still considered missing to this day, it doesn't make sense. The public is like, we want answers. It was revealed that the building was not attacked by North Korea or a group of terrorists. There was no earthquake, no natural disaster. The building went down on its own, so obviously there's some sort of human error.
Yep.
So they found the owner, the Lee family, and journalists start hounding him with questions.
As they should.
The way that this man answers questions does not help him in the eyes of the public.
Why?
They said, "Did you do a safety inspection on the building?" Mr. Lee said, "Look here. We've got many people coming in and out of this building. Do you really, think about it. Do you really think if we knew that the building was going to go down, we would keep it open? Of course we did safety checks. It was received by the president of the building. I am the owner. I only attend meetings once a week. So you'd have to ask management to clear up those answers. In other words, we have no motive to keep the mall open if we knew it was going to collapse."
No, greed.
As a company,
It's greed.
It's not just about injury to customers. It's about company property. He's comparing 502 people dying to losing a mall. I think it's clear what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Of course, everything was great and we knew nothing about this because.
But the way that he states that.
Would it be logical to ignore such a big safety concern if it would ruin our company? But the delivery was disgusting.
Yeah.
And nobody believed him. He would also try to argue that if the building was so dangerous, why was he in Building B when it collapsed?
But he survived.
Building B did not collapse because Building B had sturdier columns because it wasn't a mall, so they didn't need to display merchandise. They didn't have all this heavy machinery. There was no one in there also. They didn't even have the massive AC units on the roof. And this whole argument backfired when it was revealed the reason that Mr. Lee was even in Building B to begin with was because there was an emergency meeting about whether or not the mall should be evacuated. That's what they were...
No fucking way. No fucking way that this man... Or me, I gotta go, unfortunately. Have a good rest of your stream. Okay, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for always coming in and being cozy and grabbing in the snackies and watching the reactions. But I hope you have a good rest of your night, rest of your day. Yeah. Thank you for stopping in. But real quick, the audacity of this person to literally be like, if the building was so unstable and dangerous, why would I have been there? You literally are there to talk about if they should evacuate the rest of the building. The audacity to sit there and be like, I'm gonna swing my shoes at them. I'm gonna swing my stilettos at their head. Goddamn.
Debating whether or not to close the mall when the mall collapsed. The meeting lasted for hours and executives were arguing. So Lee and his son, who is the president of the mall, they were arguing that it's going to be bad for business. The board of executives were arguing it doesn't matter because if the building collapses or even if a ceiling falls through and a customer gets injured, that's going to be bad for business.
Yeah.
A few executives left mid-meeting because they got calls of complaints by store owners that ceilings were crumbling.
Oh shit.
Literally during the meeting, they left. They went to investigate. They went onto the rooftop. One of the executives saw one of the columns punching through the roof. He turned to his colleague and said, "Get everyone out."
Yes.
Lee, I don't care. Get him out. They were on the way downstairs when the building went down.
Oh my fucking God.
We're still arguing when all hell broke loose. People are sprinting towards exits. People were being pushed into clothing racks because now you could hear the groaning. Once that groaning hit, you had 20 seconds to get out.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Making a run for it.
Oh my God.
They had been caught in the middle of changing. Now they're booking it.
Shit.
If Lee hadn't cut even more costs and had there been more escalators, more stairwells, more emergency exits,
more people would have been able to get out. Oh my God. Fucking Lee. God damn it.
Situation on top of the collapse. A domino effect took over. The 5th floor ceiling fell through, and now it was on the 4th floor.
And all that pressure and the
weight.
weight.
But that was about to crumble, and then soon the 3rd floor, and it would just all pancake in 20 seconds. nobody had a warning. It looks like one of those aluminum soda cans that you step on. The executives in the Lee family heard. They ran out, ran to the hallway, and it's just a cliff. And they see the building on the ground. But still, Chairman Lee acts like he knew nothing. Okay, whenever he was interviewed by journalists, he would make it about himself. One journalist asked if he had anything he wanted to say to the victims' families, and he just said, "Do you think I wanted this to happen? I have nothing to say."
But you did nothing to prevent it from happening.
Is that Lee's daughter-in-law, so the president of the mall, his son's wife, was in the building when it was collapsed. She was rescued early on. She refused to give her name to rescuers, and people thought that was weird. The rescuers were like, "What? Like,
yeah,
they didn't know that you're okay." Everyone that could talk was giving their name, so that your families can find you. But the very next day, they saw that same woman they rescued on the news, standing next to her husband.
God damn.
Showing her full support.
Wow.
So a full investigation on the cause of the collapse was ordered by the government, and it revealed a lot. I mean, obviously it revealed all of the things that I've mentioned before.
Fucking
on top
this
of
man.
That, Chairman Lee was known to constantly change the interior of the mall, like he was just changing clothes. He would rip out perfectly acceptable lighter wood floors and put in super heavy marble flooring.
Oh my God.
He wanted it to look expensive because more people would come and they would shop and he would make more money.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I hate this man, I hate this man, I hate this man, I hate this man.
To, like, make more space for merchandise.
Are you kidding me?
With all the new renovations, there were more customers. And it's not like the building crumbled out of nowhere. There were literal bright red warning signs that the Lee family and the executives, they were made aware of. 2 months before the collapse, a thin line emerged on the ceiling of the 5th floor. It was more of an eyesore than anything, but every now and then, tinkle tinkle, there'd be dust landing on people's faces, coming from that crack.
Meaning, okay, so structurally, let's talk about that shit. So, there's a crack in the ceiling. Say you're in a room right now and you look up and there's a crack in the ceiling. That is one thing. But if there is like debris coming out of it, or like any drafting that's coming out of it, that is a bad sign. That is a bad sign, because that means there is, if you are, like enclosed in a building, the ceiling above you is not like a roof of any kind. That draft is coming in, and that pressure of that air is coming in from another area, meaning that the pressure is coming down on the foundation. Bad news, man. Get the fuck out of there. Leave. Just don't. Just get out. Like, oh my God. Like, I can't even imagine that. Like, going to a place and then, like, sitting there shopping and then just feeling debris, like, fall on you. Like, I would never go there again. I'd be like, that building is dangerous and it's going to fall on people. Like, yeah, no, we ain't playing that game. That's kind
of crazy. If you were dining at the restaurants, your chopsticks would slowly roll to the side and off the table.
Oh, God.
The floor was tilting, but all the customers thought, "Oh, man, what's wrong with this table?"
No, that's so
No one thought it was the building that was leaning.
That floor was
Workers
like this.
On the restaurant level, they would put in a container of raw veggies on the fridge shelf. It's like an industrial walk-in fridge.
Yeah.
They would walk back in, and it's like slid all the way to the wall. They'd put it next to the door. It slid all the way down to the wall, like 5 feet down to the wall.
Oh my God.
Why would it be sliding?
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, unless the floor is uneven. Yeah, if it's tilting.
15-degree angle.
15
The tilting got so bad
degrees.
the 5th floor restaurants had to be closed. They requested civil engineers to be called in for an inspection, and
They didn't do
the
that.
person that called was Lee's son. So he's there with the inspectors. And
The
they're
president? Or
this building is in imminent danger of collapse. The only option that you have in situations like this is to evacuate, close the entire building down, and we can game plan on what the next steps are.
So they already know this before.
Way before. Like 2 months before.
2 months
And he's
before.
like, okay, let me think about it.
Let me
think about it.
Let me think about it.
Workers to just hide the cracks by adding more grout and plaster. He was like, as long as the customers don't see, because this month was crucial for them. June and July were the summer sale months.
Fucking greed. Fucking goddamn greed. Like, I grew up a very poor individual. And when I say poor, like literally rat infested housing for like 3 years of my childhood until I was taken out of that situation and placed with my sister. But like 3 years of just like mice and rats in the wall, and then me, delusional child who had bipolar disorder and didn't really understand things, telling myself they're my friends and my pets now. I finally got a pet. And me trying to feed them like I'm fucking Cinderella or some shit. I don't know. I was a weird ass kid. But I will never understand greed. Like I don't think I'll ever be a very wealthy individual. Like once again, yes, I make money. Yes, I teach dance classes. Yes, I dance on a pole. Yes, I do burlesque and I take my clothes off and people give me money for that. That is something that I do. Will I ever be rich off of that? Hell no. Not sustainably rich. It is, I get spurs of money and then try to disperse it and stretch it out until my next gig for me to have that income again. Like that's just kind of what you do. That's how you budget things. That's how you maintain a house and a life and things like that. And I'm fortunate that my partner has a very stable job. But I will never understand the wealth clouding so much of your mind that you lose empathy for another human being. Because if you're told the building's going to collapse, that it's going to harm people, like you need to evacuate people for safety, and then you say, oh, I'm gonna think about it, and then don't do jack shit and just try to cover it up, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like that shit, oh my god. Like I would scream if I had a human like that in my life. Like, oh my god. Like if
This is another illegal thing that they're doing.
Yeah,
In
it's
South
legal.
Korea, you can only have a sale for 2 weeks.
Oh.
I don't know why. I guess it's so that stores can't like try to manipulate you into like buying things, right? 2 weeks. The sale is scheduled for July when everybody else has the sale. But the Lees were like, we can be smart. We're going to get our VIP clients early access. So we're going to sell them the product since they're our VIPs, we know them, and we're only going to run their card at the sale prices in July, but they can come during June. And they had a lot of VIPs.
Wow.
So June was a very busy, high traffic month for them. Crazy busy. 10 days before the collapse,
I
the
can't
customer was
even.
sitting at their table on the fifth floor to eat, and the whole thing started shaking. She
Like
said
the
it was so
roof?
strange. She thought it was an earthquake or something. But when she told her friends that weren't at the mall, they were like, what are you talking about? There was no earthquake. There was nothing on the news.
Fuck.
5 days before the collapse, another customer was on the fifth floor eating when it felt like someone doused a bucket of water on their head.
No.
And she's like, what the hell?
No.
Looks up. There is like a droopy hole. It's not
Yup.
just a hole, but like a part of the ceiling that's drooping down at the end, there's a hole.
Oh
The
god.
employees were made aware of it. They tell upper management, and they're like, it's just Sampoong's shitty construction. They did not think that water leaks were even in the same possibility as a building collapsing.
Okay, what? That's also fucking ludicrous to even think that water leakage doesn't also mean some type of financial, like, or not financial, fundamental structure issue. Because, okay, if there is a pocket of water that is piled up enough to literally break in through the ceiling, and like if they said like it was like felt like a bucket of water was placed on them, that's a lot of water just sitting there. And that once again, they even said it in this video, water is heavy. Water is so fucking heavy. So if it's dipping in enough to be centralized and then drop, that means they're probably, that water is pulling other places. That water is coming from somewhere. It didn't just get there like through magic and like what, condensation. No, like that's not how that works. Like this could be my plumber back. Like it could be literally my upgrading with my family members in the plumbing industry, where my brain is like, are you fucking dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Like, that's all I want to scream at all these people is, are you dumb?
The night before the collapse, the security guard noticed the sinkhole in the roof, and he called Lee's son and was like, "Sir, there's a literal sinkhole on the roof." And apparently the son went himself to check it out, and while he's standing there, staring at this giant hole,
Yeah.
one of the managers of the restaurant comes out and is like, "Hey, I've been trying to call you for ages now. Look at this shit. Look, can I show you something?" They walk over to one of the columns on the 5th floor near his restaurant. There's an 8-inch long crack that's knuckle deep. But that's not even all. The manager is like, "I've been waiting for this, okay? I'm paying all this money, and look at that ceiling. Look at that ceiling above the kitchen. It's droopy. And look. He puts his phone on the counter, like the cash register of the restaurant. It slides off. He's like, "I know it's not my counter, so what's going on?"
Yeah, it's the building.
His son checks his watch. He's like, "Shoot. The stores are about to open for the day. Okay, just why don't we close down all the restaurants on this floor? I guess if you want to stay open, you can stay open, but it's fine. Close down. We're going to figure it out. We'll send up maintenance."
That's not going to solve shit. Get them all out.
Workers were sent up, and they're like, "Guys, this shit is going to go down.
Yeah.
Like, under no circumstances can we put plaster on anything anymore. Like, it's going to go down."
Yeah.
Lee's son left the building for about 30 minutes before he was called back in, this time to the 4th floor. A shop owner said, "I just heard these, like, really crazy, like, tuck, tuck, tuck noises, and then the whole floor shook for, like, 3 minutes." They're like, "Isn't that right, Susie? Like, 3 minutes." And Susie's like, "Yeah, 3 full minutes."
Oh,
Lee's son
no.
is like, "Okay,
Oh, no. Oh,
let me
no. Oh,
investigate,"
no.
right? Before he could even figure it out, water starts pouring down the walls of the 5th
Yup.
floor.
Yup.
That's why they turned off the AC units. He said, "You know what? Don't close them all. Turn off the AC units and drain the water inside of them, because that's what's leaking." And then 4 hours before
How
the
do you know,
collapse,
though?
evacuation orders were given. Lee's son said, "Let's focus on what matters. Don't tell the customers, but let's take out all the priceless goods. Paintings, artwork, jewelry, ancient pottery,
Motherfucker. Don't worry about the human lives that, have life left in them and they're perfectly healthy enough at least to be in this mall and be out and about. No, let's take all the goods that are... Oh my God, who was that? What did I watch where they talked about something like that? Oh, okay, my interests are about to pop out. I am so sorry. I am a fan of BTS. One of the members of BTS, since their little break for them to go to the military, then all of them to be discharged and come back together as a group, one of the members decided to do like a talk show basically, and the leader of BTS was on it, RM, and he was talking about how he got the opportunity to be on a show, and he got to talk to like, I think it was like a doctor and an astrophysicist and like all these like very intellectual people, and they just like, I think they sat and ate and just talked with one another. I actually still haven't seen that one. I kind of want to watch it. Anyways, regardless of that, he talked about how he was talking to someone at that dinner party and about everything around you, for the most part, is dead or things that are currently dying. So like if you think of chopped flowers that could be inside your house, they are slowly dying. I know it's very morbid to think about, but majority of things besides other living people or animals or things like that, majority of everything around you is dead or currently slowly dying. Humans are slowly dying, but like majority of it's all dead. You chose to do things and take things out that have no feelings, have no families. You decide to take those things out and not the actual humans that have lineages and people in their life, and they affect other, like, I want to punch someone. Okay.
Expensive bags. Let's take it out just in case. We don't know. It could flood. It could do something. Customers, employees, they were not evacuated.
Oh my
God. They had no idea they were in a compromised building. Why?
This is unbelievable.
It's
like
unbelievable.
Doing everything in his power to kill people.
Why did they not evacuate? Because the mall was bringing in about $400,000 a day.
Who fucking cares?
And they said, we can't lose out on that. Many of the victims died on impact. Others suffocated to death. Others bled out. Some starved to death. And a lot of them drowned to death. When firefighters were trying to put out the fires inside the
because the
water
water
came in and
the
filled
water,
their air pockets.
oh my God.
Some of the other survivors could hear them drowning, and The firefighters that worked that scene, I don't think it's their fault. I
It's
think
not.
they did their best
They're
considering the
getting the
information and tools
fire
they were
out.
given, but they still have PTSD. They have nightmares about it.
Yeah.
They said they will carry around the guilt for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
In the end, the court sentenced Lee Jun, the chairman, to 7.5 years in prison, and his son got 7. You look
What?
so shocked, right? But this was actually a big deal. This
Ow.
is even crazier about this case, okay? Is the fact that, to me, I'm like, 7 years?
That's
Right?
nothing.
In Korea,
So
this was landmark. This was
Why?
crazy that they got 7 years. I mean, people, don't get me wrong, people were still upset it wasn't enough, but a lot of people being very cynical, skeptical, and just realistic, they weren't expecting the Lee family to get any jail time.
Why?
Not
What?
saying that they didn't deserve it, but that was the track record for the government. The reason why they got a lengthy jail time, lengthy quote, is really dark. It's a high-end department store.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the victims were wives of influential businessmen.
That's the only
Just
reason why
saying,
justice.
and not saying that these people's lives hold more value, but to give context on whose families were fighting for these offenders to get jail time. Wife of Samsung Electronics president, wife of Daewoo Motors
Wait,
president,
wife of the Samsung.
division, electronics division.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, advisor to Samsung Motors and former head of Korea's Customs Service.
Oh.
Advisor to Samsung Engineering and Construction. Executive for Hyundai Engineering and Construction. Wives of high-powered attorneys, judges, and doctors. A judge's mother. I mean, these were just a few to name. Many of these were the upper echelon of society. These were the elites.
And they still only got 7
7
years.
years.
Yes, and the worst part is
7.
netizens speculate, had this been a middle-class mall or a lower-class mall, they
But-
probably would have gotten no jail time.
But why?
That's
what,
Why?
How is that?
People died.
How?
People literally died.
I guess it was a blame-shifting game. So Lee's family would actually shift the blame on government workers that they bribed. So they would say, hey, we didn't pass our safety inspection, but just say we did. And about 30 government workers were fired and arrested as well.
Holy
so because there were
shit.
so many people to blame, it became this game of like, who's really at fault? Was it the gatekeeper, the government workers that didn't make sure that
No,
the safety
it's the
inspections were up to date? Was it the I don't
Send
I
all
know.
of them to jail.
Yeah.
all of
500
them.
people
Who?
died.
All
I agree.
of them should go to
Lee
jail.
was
There should be
72
no
when he got
exception
out.
in this.
He died a year later, so we're not too sad about that.
Wait,
Lee
what
was
did they say?
72 when he got out.
Them to jail.
Yeah.
500 people died.
I agree. Lee was 72 when he got out. He died a year later, so we're not too sad about
No,
that.
no, good.
Meanwhile,
Run
Lee's
health.
son, June, is one of the very few families in South Korea, many we've talked about, that are basically socially exiled. They're
Oh,
legally
shit.
allowed to be in Korea, but he is said to have been spotted living in Russia. We don't know
Oh.
for sure, but like the minute he steps foot in South Korea, I mean, nothing's
So
gonna happen.
he's still
to him.
around right now.
Yeah.
So he's still
He's
alive.
free.
Yes, but I
And
don't
he's
think that there's
free?
no money. I don't
Really?
know if he had a lot of hidden money, but the family's fortune
No.
was completely liquidated and given to the survivors and victims'
Oh,
families.
good.
It's estimated that each family received around 250,000, because there's a lot of people, which
Yeah.
honestly is nothing compared to the life of a loved one.
Yeah.
But trust me, this is not a story where victims' families get closure. 500 plus people died. Like, that's a
40 people
tragedy
are
that is
still
gonna be felt
missing.
nationwide. I mean, think about the spider web of people that are either directly or indirectly impacted by this level of loss.
Yeah.
Well, the president of South Korea was asked to say something to the victims.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the collapse of the Sampoong department store today was 21 days ago. I wish for peace for those who lost their precious lives. I pray for the speedy recovery and for those who were injured, and I express my condolences to the families who suffered an unexpected accident. Thank you. He's at his podium, okay? He stands still for maybe 2 seconds, and he thinks that the camera is off now. And he turns to his aide and says, that should be enough, right?
감사합니다.
Are you,
그럼 되겠지.
It wasn't even in the tone of like, oh, do you think I should say more? Like,
that was like,
was that
that was off-putting. sorry, no disrespect, or maybe disrespect. I don't know, because this is someone's leader of their country. Obviously, this is what 1995, so they're probably not the leader of the country. I actually don't know. Is South Korea a democracy? Oh wait, yes, I do know. South Korea is a democracy. Anyways, um, this is a heavy one. There's a lot of layers. I think I say this every single time with Rod and Mango episodes. There's a lot of layers that are happening in here. Look at this onion that we got going on. But yeah, the way that they stated that is very much the tone of being like, okay, I guess I did my duty, but like, do you think the public is going to be mad at me because I should have said more? Instead of being like, what should I do to give like hope and give reassurance to, our nation that is mourning all these people who died. 40 people still missing died. It probably was a bigger number back then, because if you think it's been several years that has passed now, like decades now that has passed since this situation, and there's still 40 people. There's probably a shit ton of people that were still missing before they scooped up all the rubble and put it in the dump. Like,
did I convey my emotions correctly? It was like a 대지, like I did it.
yeah, like that.
Let's go.
He doesn't care.
Fuck.
A lot of the victims' families were upset at the government and even the rescue operations. Not the rescue workers, but the operation. They felt like the government wanted to throw some money at the victims' families, start cleaning up the rubble, and make use of the land again. The victims' families requested a memorial.
Yeah.
Not to give a comparison, but later on this comparison does come up a lot in Korean media sources. But like 9/11 in the US, I mean, that is crazy real estate if you think about it. That is prime real estate. But out of respect for the tragedy,
Yeah.
there is a memorial there. You go there to, you remember these families, you remember these victims, everyone that lost their lives. But the government said, this is such a good area of Kamna. It's like center. Like every time someone drives through here, they're gonna have to be reminded of that. And like, what about the real estate prices of
What about
all
the families that have to be reminded every single day that their loved one is
It's gonna
gone?
go down if we have a memorial here. So they said, we'll give you a memorial. So the family said, okay, then can you give it to us at this park?
Yeah, like in a park. At a park.
To go to, and it's
Yeah.
a beautiful park. We can go there and spend time with our loved ones. That park is so pretty. People will be so depressed if they go there and they see 500 something names. What about in the woods? They literally gave them a memorial in the middle of nowhere.
In the
Like,
woods?
in the mountains. And they built a luxury apartment building where that,
The Sampoong department store?
one of the victims' families was interviewed, and the mom said, it's money, money, money.
Yeah.
Building costs this money. Cleanup costs that money. Compensation costs money. Let's give money to the victims. Everything is about money, and nothing is about my child.
Yeah.
Remember Mr.
Fuck
John?
them.
Speaking of money, he lost 3 daughters in the collapse, and his eldest daughter was the blind professor at Seouldae.
Yeah.
He was compensated over $600,000 for the loss of all of his children, which is nothing.
Nothing.
And he gave it all to the Seoul National School for the Blind.
Oh, wait.
Over the course of his life, he would donate more than $1.3 million to churches, schools, and charities that his daughter liked.
Oh,
And
no.
Money to me is nothing that I can have. My daughters all had dreams to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
I just have to fulfill those dreams before I go.
Oh, my God.
And Gia, the one that survived 13 days,
Yeah.
she said, I just hope people can learn from this. That no one should ever have it won't happen to me. It doesn't concern me attitude.
Oh, my God.
Because tragedy doesn't really pick people
Yeah,
to
it just
happen to. It can happen to anyone.
it just
It can happen
happens.
to your child that waved goodbye to you before school, or the husband that promised to be home for dinner.
Yeah.
I never thought something like this would happen to me, but it did.
Oh, God.
And that is the story of this Sampoong department store collapse. Honestly, what?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Please
Just
leave them in the
what?
comments, and Please stay safe, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for the main episode. Bye.
I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry right now. Just like, I don't know if I could ever express how upset I am right now. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. For a number of different reasons. Once again, I can never understand. I understand the necessity of having money and having currency. I understand the need for those things. I do. I understand that is a need that, you know, helps with structure of things, having things be more structured and organized, and like giving, I don't like the thought of like giving worth to something or like things like that, but like it gives structure. It gives structure to people. But like, oh my fucking God. Like over 500 people, 40 people still to this day. This happened in 1995. We were in 2024. This was released 3 months ago. So technically 2023. But still then, there were still 40 people missing. 40 people unaccounted for. Because they took the debris and everything that was there and the rubble and scooped it up and put it into dumps. Like, just creating mass graves. You just created a mass grave. A mass grave that, like, what? You want these victims of these families to go to the dump and then sit there and think, I'm mourning my loved one, but I don't even know if they're at this specific dump because you separated all of it into separate places. Oh my God. Just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, no, this one made me so angry. I'm actually been live longer than I thought it was going to be today. Once again, if you are lingering, if you're still lurking right now, I had a major attack earlier today, so I'm like drained of all of my energy, and I'm more drained of my energy than I was before. Lots of fun. Love to be drained of my energy. I actually don't love it. It's not the best. So I was planning on just doing one, and I think I'm going to continue that plan. Once again, thank you for anyone who's been lurking. If you liked the lurk and you liked whatever the hot mess that I am presenting to you today, consider subscribing to the channel. Once we hit 35, I'm going to do, I think, like a 12-hour stream. I'm going to be sad, but I'm going to do it. I won't be sad. It'll be fine. And I'll, you know, figure out our itinerary for that. It'll be fun. Once again, I tend to do some random things on stream. I'm a pretty random person. Once again, you can see from the trigger warning in this stream itself, I have bipolar disorder. Sometimes things just happen. I'm a little crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good... Oh, wait, no. Let's get some music going. What am I doing? It is so... Music. Look at them. Listen to the music. Feel happier about life. Jesus Lord. Sorry. Okay. I actually have no idea what the sound... I think this is fine, right? Sound-wise? I think it's fine. Okay. Oh, I kind of wish it was loud. Oh, God. Did I do that whole video with not being loud enough? God damn it. Hold on. I'm about to be cringed for a second. I have my phone set up over here so I can see and read chat.
Man, like,
Oh my gosh.
it's always, like, vibes. It's all...
Nah. Go to the actual talking.
Said, what are you talking about?
Oh, okay. It sounded fine. Sorry. Now I'm just doing... doing tech work. My body is drained today. I taught a class today and everyone said that they liked the choreography that I taught, and that made me real happy. But then it just reminded me, I don't have my set ready for my show that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And I also don't have my costume ready. So we're definitely going to have a costume stream where I'm over here. Okay, I'm trying to make how do I explain this? I'm trying to make a toga situation, so like the white cloth, but I'm trying to do it and make it into parts where if I release or like untie, it just takes off a section and it's not like fully the whole toga comes off. So I'm trying to like figure out how the fuck to do that. I bought a bunch of things that I don't know fully how to work with today at a fabric store. So we could probably figure that out together on a stream, maybe? I don't know, but we'll try. But anyways, that is gonna be it for me today. Once again, if you're going through something, I hope that, you know, we hang in there together. We keep pushing with one another. And if you need, you know, to seek any kind of help, that you go seek it. I am currently back into therapy. Hells yeah, because I need it. But anyways, once again, I hope you have a good meal today. Something nice and warm, maybe. I'm about to have some soup. I'm so excited for soup. I hope you got to talk to a loved one. Maybe you get to make plans to see them soon. I hope everyone stays safe and sound. And once again, if you liked whatever hot mess this was, consider subscribing. If not, that's chill too. It's fine. But either way, I will see you all next time. Which will be... What date is it? Where's my calendar? I will be live again on the 30th. I will be live on the 30th. So, come on by. Oh, wait, no, not the 30th. I'm dumb. The 31st. The 31st of January. So, the last day of this month. That's the next time I'll be live. Most likely for Coral Life again. Not Coral Life. Oh my god, Coral Island. I keep calling it Coral Life. Like Coral. I'm a hot mess. Please, no one judge me. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I need to get out of here. Bye.